How's it going, everybody? Michael here with 15-cent pressure washing. In this video, we're going to talk a little bit about apartment complex cleaning. I'm going to give you guys some tips and tricks that we've learned along the way. Now, one thing you're going to want to take into consideration whenever you first come out to get your estimate is you're going to make sure that you have water on site. Check the location of all the water spigots and make sure that you're going to be able to reach all the areas that need to be cleaned by hooking up to these spigots. The last thing you want is to have your water line ran out, your pressure line ran out, and you're not able to reach an area. Making this mistake can be very time consuming because now you're having to pause, let your water tank fill up, and then go back to pressure washing. Now, we have ran into apartment complexes that either did not have water spigots or they didn't want us hooking up to their water because they were worried about the water bill. Now, if this is something that you run into, you may be able to call the city and see if you can rent a fire hydrant water meter. This meter will hook up to the fire hydrant and then you can hook your water line up to the meter. It will calculate how much water you're using, and then whenever you return the meter back to the city, that will factor up a bill for the amount of water that you've used. Even if you're not doing an estimate for an apartment complex cleaning job, this is good information to have in case you have a customer that calls, needs a pretty decent job done, but they do not have access to water. Another thing you're going to want to take into consideration is the elevation of all the sidewalks and the parking lot. A lot of times when you're cleaning apartment complex sidewalks, a lot of your runoff's going to run to the parking lot. And sometimes the parking lots are already going to be dirty themselves, especially in gutter and curb areas, because these are the areas to where, debris and stuff like that washes away to. So you're definitely going to take this into consideration when you're providing your quote. Now, before you provide any cleanings at an apartment complex, you want to make sure that the apartment complex manager sends out a letter to each tenant in the units notifying them of the days that you guys will be out there cleaning, letting them know to park their cars roughly 3 feet away from curbs, so when you're cleaning sidewalks and curbs, you're not really getting much splatter onto the vehicles. Make sure their windows are locked. Let them know that there's going to be pig socks or whatever you use under the doors, so whenever you're cleaning the breezeways, water does not get into the units. This is very important. So if you don't know what pig socks are, just check them out on Amazon. Doors are roughly 4 feet wide, so you could order a 4 foot wide pig sock. You're also going to want to make sure that this letter notifies everybody that all the outdoor electrical will be covered. Fire alarms, smoke detectors, outdoor outlets, security cameras, and it is very important that these things are covered. Don't try to take an easy route and not cover these things, because it can be very expensive if something was to get damaged, and it can also create a bad reputation for you. Now, some of you may be wondering, how do I get an apartment complex cleaning job? It's just like anything else. It's all about who you know. And how do you meet new people? By putting yourself out there and introducing yourself to new people. So you could go to a local apartment complex, go down to the main office, ask to speak to the manager, introduce yourself, tell them about your company and what, your company can do for them. Having a clean apartment complex is going to attract more tenants. People want to live in clean living conditions. Let them know that the quotes are free and that you can give them a rough idea of what it would cost to have their property clean and for it to be in pristine condition. And you're going to want to try to close these apartment complex cleaning jobs to where you can do them at least every 6 months. Most of these apartment complexes, the company that owns them does an audit every 6 to 12 months You know, so they're coming out, checking the properties and making sure that, you know, everything's working the way that it's supposed to, and, you know, the place is clean and the property is running like it should. You know, but this is gonna help to have reoccurring business, and reoccurring business in the pressure washing industry is massive, you know, and if you're focused on reoccurring work, you can keep building and building and building your pressure washing business up versus having to find as many new customers. You know, you don't have to find as many customers when you're doing reoccurring work. You know, that's one good thing about landscaping. You know, a lot of landscapers, year after year, they're doing work for the same people. So for somebody that wanted to have a business and they just wanted their business to just be them, you could really set yourself up to a point to where you don't have to go out and look for work all the time, you know, because you have reoccurring pressure washing jobs. Now, I hope this video has helped somebody in some way, shape, or form. You know, I try making videos that other people have not made, or, you know, put content out there that nobody else is really putting out there. You know, I literally started this business from the bottom. I was living out of a Chrysler Pacifica. I was working out of the Chrysler Pacifica. I started this business with a water hose and pump sprayer and grinded to the point I'm at now. You know, and it definitely took hard work and dedication, but I've learned a lot of things along the way. You know, I've made mistakes and I've learned from them. And if I can help other people not have to make those same mistakes, then I'm gonna do that, you know, because that's what all this is about, man. It's about the journey, enjoying what you do, and helping people, you know. So I really appreciate you guys for watching. Wash on, y'all stay safe and be blessed.